I think springtime is making everyone super cheerful. I don't know, every single time I say this word, it sounds wrong. Good morning, everyone. As you can see, we are not in the garden today. And to be honest, I've been working on this project that I will share with you in one of the next videos that it wrecked my body. Like, I need a break. So today I planned a pretty chill day and it's going to take me around Warsaw. So I thought it might be interesting to take you with me. Also, it's Saturday, and Saturday in Poland is a market day. So first we are going shopping. There is this one specific plant that I'm trying to hunt down. I could order it online, but at this point I'm pretty sure it will not arrive in time for me to pick it up. So yeah, I think there is one place in Warsaw where it might be available. So let's go and check. Also, talking to a camera in public is a nerve-wracking experience. So if I'm a little bit awkward, my apologies. I have no idea what is happening, but literally half of the city is not working today. Half of the road is closed. And then the trams also are not working. So I really have no idea how to get where I need to get. A quick reminder for those of you who are new here. I used to live in Warsaw for over 10 years, but I moved to Portugal during COVID. Since then, I've been splitting my time between the two countries, but because I'm not here full-time anymore, it can be surprisingly hard to keep up with all the changes happening in the city. And trust me, there's a lot of changes because this city is growing in an absolutely shocking pace. Alright, the situation with the buses was a little bit confusing, but we made it. We're in the city center. Right behind me, there is a central train station, and somewhere over there is a Palace of Culture, one of the biggest landmarks in Warsaw. And I could take a tram from here to get to Hala Mirowska, where we are going, but I think I'm actually going to take a walk. I rarely come to the city center, and I swear to God, every single time I'm here, there's something new. There's a new skyscraper or something. Like, I swear to God, they're popping out like mushrooms after a rain. So yeah, I think this one is the tallest in Warsaw right now. So yeah, let's take a walk and see what's new here. Dzień dobry, czy mogę prosić o średnie latte na sojowym? I got myself a coffee to go, but I didn't consider that it makes the shooting even more difficult because now both of my hands are taken. So I might actually sit down for a second. It's kind of wild to think that Warsaw was almost completely destroyed during World War II and then spent decades behind the Iron Curtain. It's been less than 40 years since the fall of communism, and just look at it. A city full of energy. Warsaw basically pulled off one of the most impressive glow-ups in Europe, and it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. This neighborhood would be nice in any city in the world, really, but to be quite honest, if you consider that less than 100 years ago, none of this has existed. Like, this entire neighborhood has been completely destroyed during Second World War. It's even more impressive. A few days ago, I had some friends visiting from Germany, and the first thing they told me, the first observation about Warsaw was Warsaw is so insanely clean. And since they told me, I started paying more attention, and I 100% agree. Like, it's so clean. And it's not only that there's no trash anywhere, but also it's so green and those beautiful flower beds everywhere, like really well designed and really, really pretty. So I think in comparison to some Western European big cities, I think Warsaw looks so good. But meanwhile, we made it to Halamirovska. I'm sitting right outside of it. And I think historically it's a pretty interesting building. It was built at the beginning of like 20th century, but of course like completely destroyed during Second World War. But then they rebuilt it after the war. And I think they rebuilt it based on the original plans. And inside you can find like hundreds of little stalls where the vendors are selling pretty much anything, like fruit, vegetable, clothes, whatever you can imagine. And nowadays they also have like outside street markets where they sell mostly like fruit and vegetable. And that's actually my favorite part of Halamirovska because it's always so beautiful and colorful and seasonal. And I really hope they are also going to have some like plant vendors there. They usually do, but you never know. It's like street market, so you never know which vendors are going to show up. So let's go, let's see if they have what I need. Shopping at local street markets is still a really big part of everyday life in Poland. Even though supermarkets are everywhere now, many people still go to the markets for the freshest produce, lower prices, and sometimes simply because that's what they've been doing since childhood. I've noticed that in many countries, farmers' markets are seen as something a little bit fancy, but in Poland, they're usually very straightforward and very practical. Just fresh fruit and vegetables, homemade cheeses, flowers, clothes, and sometimes some antiques. My parents, they still go every single week on Saturday to buy majority of their food. And those markets definitely changed a lot. Back in the day, it was usually Polish grandmas selling whatever they managed to grow and produce on their farms. Nowadays, there's definitely a lot of really big stalls and people who treat it as a full-time job. But as you can clearly see, they're still very busy and very popular in Poland. Nie, to wszystko. Dziękuję.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Dziękuję bardzo. Hop. All right, I'm out. It was nice, but stressful. I'm telling you, like shooting in public places, not for the faint of heart. But I got the plants that I wanted, so I would say this mission was successful. Before I head to the garden and put my new plants in the ground, there's actually one more stop that I'd like to make. I have this DIY project in mind. I have those two old loungers that are overall in really good conditions. They are fully operational, but the fabric on them is like completely destroyed and faded. So I was thinking about replacing it, and I have like a specific idea of a color and texture of the fabric that I need, but also I don't really want to buy a new one.
Very good vibration.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You too. I think springtime is making everyone super cheerful. Even old drunks are extremely friendly. Honestly, I don't want to buy a completely new fabric for this project. I would rather repurpose like old curtains or something like this. So I'm going to go to my favorite thrift store and see if they have something that could work for this. And this is of course my completely biased and non-objective opinion, but I think that thrifting in Poland is still very good. It's like thrifting in good old days. So like you have to dig through a lot of shitty clothes, but then when you find good pieces, you can buy them for really, really cheap. So every time I'm coming back to Poland, I'm going thrifting. It's really nice. All right, I'm out. It was actually one of their cheaper days. So there was not a lot of choice, and there was basically nothing like even similar to what I'm looking for. I tried on some clothes, but I didn't really love anything. So I'm coming out empty-handed. every single time that I come here straight from the city center, I just remember why this is such a magical place, because, 15 minutes ago, we've been in the city center surrounded by skyscrapers and concrete and metal, and all of a sudden, we're just in the countryside. And I think this is absolutely amazing. And actually, a funny story, kind of on the same topic, is that apparently we now have wild pigs living in our allotment site. A few days ago, a neighbor told me...
Dzik pana nie zaatakował?
Tu jest dzik? Na działkach u nas?
No.
Dzień dobry, przepraszam,
Tutaj
jest
w
grządki.
ogrodzie. Locha urodziła, chodzi podobno, ale podobno jest taka wściekła.
Dzika?
No.
Naprawdę? That on the allotment site next to us, that is a little bit like wilder, it's less maintained, there's a lot of empty lots. A wild mama decided to give birth to I don't remember, I think 16 little piglets. And now they're roaming around and wreaking havoc, and it really is countryside in here. So really, the contrast between this and where we have been 15 minutes ago is just insane.
I feel the warm wind blow. Spring is at my window, where nobody knows my name. I hear the robin song, and it calls out to me, just a whisper on the rain.
My peonies. Peonies? I don't know. Every single time I say this word, it sounds wrong. And I'm pretty sure I just pronounce it wrong and it sounds too much like another word. But anyways, my peonies are in bloom and they're looking absolutely beautiful. I just took a walk around the garden to decide what are we going to be doing today, and I have some work related to my other secret project that I can't share with you yet. It's going to be a part of another video. But I also have this project that I am in the middle of. As you can remember, I planted that tree and those two bushes in the last video, and I started creating a little border around them. So we need to put a rock border and put down some more cardboard and wood chips and finish this bed. So let's jump into some work clothes and let's get going. Unfortunately, it does also look like it might rain, so I hope it's not going to happen. I think I jinxed it because not even 5 minutes later it started pouring down. But to be honest, I kind of enjoyed these moments that force me to slow down. Whenever I'm in Warsaw, I always feel like there's 1 million things to do. I'm so busy. So I just rarely give myself a permission to sit down and simply enjoy the garden. So it was actually really nice to take a 20-minute break, do some drawing, and just sit there and watch the rainfall. I've been trying to find more time for drawing lately, and I've been following this Instagram series. It's called 5 Minutes Flowers. It's small tutorials on how to draw a specific type of flowers, and it is super fun. Highly recommended. It's a little bit wet, but honestly, I had the entire morning off and now I'm itching to do some physical work. So first I'm going to bring in the rocks. Okay, first I'm bringing some of the big ones to give it a rough shape, and then I'm gonna add some smaller rocks around. You'll see, it will make sense.
Everybody's gotta listen to me. Play around, settle down. In the tall grass, way down in the valley, there's a summer past, I know. Can't reach me, can't see me, you can't find me at all.
It's not maybe the prettiest thing in the world, but I think it's going to be super useful, and it will keep the bush tree area completely separated from this extremely weedy lawn. So I'm excited. Looks good. And as always, one job turned into another and another, and it's just never a boring day out in the garden. I was working on another project for a couple of hours and it got super late, so I will be heading home, and this is where I'm going to end this video. This is something different than what I'm usually showing you guys on this channel, so let me know in the comments if you liked it or not. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!